You say it.
Watch out! Too loud! Too loud! Too loud!
Say it.
What's going on there?
You say what's up?
What's that?
What's up?
What's that? Oh, why are we going there? That's the one. Where do we get it?
Spider sighting look. Oh no, we're not ready. What am I doing? Why did I do that? That is silly action ever. That idea.
We got a crystal. Yeah. We got a crystal.
Do we? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is it back? Go. Go. Back. Daddy, back. Da.
Where?
Da, Daddy.
Where?
Da. I'll show you. We got Grandpa. Here.
You hear that?
Here, Daddy.
Where?
Here.
Where?
Here.
Where?
Here.
Here?
Yeah.
Here?
Someone gave that to us.
Did they?
Yeah. I didn't use that anymore.
I guess they give it to us. Yeah, we
need it.
we certainly get it for free from them.
Ah.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Go. Come here. Spider. Uh-oh. What? Oh no. Give one the tech talk. Uh-oh. Dude, I don't think I think I had enough fighting them. Oh no. Oh. Okay. Let's oh dear me. Are you ready? I don't think I'm ready.
I am not. I don't got our gun though.
What is this? Crazy.
What?
This one actually better.
What?
I don't understand like
That one?
no this gun.
That one?
Alright, ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Rocket launcher time. Are you ready?
Yes.
Star fire in different. Who's shooting now? Take this. Spider. And what? Wee you kaboom 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 kaboom. Take that. Spider.
Come on.
Aha, take that again. Fire everywhere, even in their underwear. Oh, finish. Nice. Kaboom! Victorious! High five. Ah.
They're supposed to pay one too.
How powerful.
Another spider one.
You're unbeatable.
Look, Daddy. A spider one. Another one. Look.
I like this.
Gotta go. Another one.
Oh
A
yeah, another
spider
engine.
one.
Yes.
It's a spider one.
Spider engine.
Yeah, we got another spider. Don't we?
What? Multi-oleum. What happened to our jump drive? Oh, what's this? 3 to the ship, 7 to the module, 13 to the seal. Wow, that's significant. Oh, wait, like this. Actually, like this. Oh, and run down.
Yeah, that's the best gun ever.
Nice.
We got this money gun.
Look. Is it broken?
Okay,
Oh, okay, that. Explosive. Okay.
Oh. You didn't fall.
Did that?
I don't know.
Me? Or you? Don't even know you did it bad or not. Duh. Aha. Alright. B. Back in order. One more stop. Okay, got too many synthetic food. That's alright, I guess. Down, put down. Put down. Okay. Want to get back to the water.
Hi, what is he doing? He's doing position. Daddy,
Oh,
yes.
huh. Yeah, what's going on there? Tell me what's going on.
Or is they gonna tell
There's no
us
fuel in here.
what?
What?
I said that first.
Yes, yes. I don't know what's going on.
And you said that second.
I said that second hit. Hold on a minute. What is this supposed to do?
Is it pop?
Okay.
It's about that.
Alright, go. Ready?
Let's jump.
Jump.
I see.
Ah, no. Only black hole in Nigeria. And Ina. We need to repair our ship. Urgent. Here we go. Final frontier. You ready, young man? You ready for the final battle?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Oh no, I'm not ready. What did I do? Oh no! Can we talk? Ask for him. Offer button packet. Yes, help me please. Transmission broadcast at the normal volume. This time you offer stone tool. Not interesting. Attack interesting. bring many ties and food. Keep your stones tools. We will deliver one attack. Get fresh food ties. Goodbye. Second fucking food. She vanished from our sensor after I. Okay, well, that wasn't ready. I wasn't expecting that, but hey, get away free cards. I take it. Not to worry at all. Captain, hello again. Captain Rush. What? Oh.
Four.
Hello again. No, actually.
Hello again. How did you go with the spider? I repaired a pop freshman for you. Looking forward to hear your story on the way home and get to know you better. At a party in our restroom tonight. If you're interesting, is invited. Especially yourself.
Captain, I'm not sure what just happened. What was this? You,
No,
please.
why?
Right. Off. Meat. Yummy, yummy.
Whop it.
Wrap it. Hang on a minute. Where are we anyway? Ah. Oh well. Nay. And oh,
Cat.
at you starting to realize your intimate shunned. Yo, high five. We haven't been this far before, have we?
Oh.
We are the most richest space. Captain, attacked by the spider, has forced the Squid Emperor to retreat this very sector. He has sent you here to fight, eliminate. Beware that he hired a fleet of ships to patrol the area. Oh, Security Corporation. Security Corporation is a network of superior security AI who, when rogues together, took over the Conqueror planet and now sell service as an intergalactic
Boring.
machinery company. You believe, mommy? I'm streaming this and what the toddler saying.
Yeah. What?
Boring. Like boring.
Nah, boring.
Got to say with your nose.
Oh,
Boring.
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 Ah, rat. I saw a cat.
Here. That little ninja and this little ninja. Ninja Lino, yeah? There you go.
Enjoy.
Lino, see? Yeah, read it with me. Ninja Lee.
Lino.
Lino. Missing the O. Missing the N. Alright, let's see. Need to repair our ship. Oh, here we go. And we called it 9, yeah? 950 credits. Cheap it thirst. Like that.
This is not an.
Yeah, this station.
No, it's not a.
No, not the new one, but it is a station. Yes.
What more people? What?
Yeah, we're gonna get some. That.
Yeah, why they got one of them guys? Go on.
Yeah, hang on. We have one more sleeping section. Should we get? Oh, get a big get this gun.
I don't know. Maybe the one.
Shoot that. Alright, that we do, mate. Go to bed. Sorry? Want to play? We already played for 5 minutes. Ask mommy. Me? We already played for some time, mate. We've been playing. Not sure what the issue is.
Well, I'm fine.
You want to play it again? What do you mean again? We already playing. Ask mommy.
Oh man.
Look at dog bones. Don't want to cut out, mommy. 800. Dude. Is this Rail Gatling gun? I don't know, what is it?
Look out, guys. Gone.
Do you know? Strange that you don't know it. Very strange. Yeah. Well, I have one more free scan. It is, yeah. Good observation. Spider technology too.
That spider's technology.
Yes, very good. Well done. Now bedtime.
What?
Gonna stay here and sleep tonight later. What is happening?
I want.
Oh, we stop here. Then usually we stop at a station. Space station. The space station, the play station, the space station.
The bus station.
Station is it? Station.
The station.
Space station. Excuse me. That's cute. Alright. Ready for bed, mommy. What now? Tell me. I can't understand Runtin language. Explain. Now let's buy some food.
Oh, Daddy, Dad.
Yeah, that. Russian Nook.
Oh, why did you go?
Got a whole bunch of Nook here. Costs a lot of money. Want to get more people. Find the place. Yeah.
The cat was going go down out nowhere. But come on to the cat. Baby.
Alright. Nice. Hello. Hello.
The cats were plowing the ship.
Look at the ship now. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Go to the station. Yeah. Baby.
Whap it, Daddy. Whap. Whap. Whap that, Daddy.
Scrub it.
Yes,
Why?
we do.
I don't want it.
No.
You see. Oh, it costs 18 food. Gee. See? Here.
Daddy.
What's eating
Daddy,
food?
Daddy,
Nah,
Daddy.
too expensive.
Yay.
That's
That's not good.
yeah, there's like fun in food to shoot in it. I don't know. How about this one? Intelligent bank.
No, not that one.
What's that?
Because it shoots out bang.
Yeah.
Let's not get that one.
Alright.
Need more people.
Yeah, see, who can I tuck away? And again, I think we had enough. We had 20.
20?
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
Can lift it.
Hey, don't break, mate. Thank you. Sheesh, buddy. Careful, please. Good night. Ah. Grandpa, man. Off a deer like last minute. Yeah.
Ninja cat. That's
How about hey Jacob, I put you extra, I give you extra deer. We do by ship in the morning. Every night you do that. Yeah, that extra. Is that better, dear? No. Well, that's what I said.
now.
I'm still here,
No, anyway.
not going anywhere. Just doing.
Jump, jump,
I'm just
jump.
doing both.
So which way you reckon we're gonna go? We go here
Yes, go there.
and go here, go
Yes.
here,
Yes,
there, 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 and there.
there. There.
Yeah, we do in the morning. Okay. We are here at the beginning. We're here. Not going anywhere. Oh. Go. Oh. Go there.
Oh no, no, let's not go there.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, back home.
Someone waiting for us.
A bad guy's waiting. Let's go there.
How to anyway. Please escape it. Gone better. So we go here first. No, hang on. I don't know. We walk it out in the morning.
Go.
Yep.
Let's go there.
And I send the SOS signal.
Bad guy, my bad guy, my bad guy.
Yeah, but we need to collect some more materials.
Bad guy, my bad guy, my bad guy.
Bad guy,
A bad guy's gonna come, Daddy.
Bad guy come for you. What are you gonna do, bad guy, bad guy?
Is it gonna be another bad odd? Turkey's never turkey.
Turkey? Ah, turkey then.
Okay. Oh, no, no.
Come knuckle.
No, that's it. That's a whole house.
And then you go, yeah? There we go. SOS. Nice.
Oh. Eh.
Ah, hey, trader. We good. Good.
It's not sleeping under what?
No, we're not sleeping on his job like the other one.
Oh.
Ah, that's what I need. That means I can get 2 more rules member. Or this one can get 6. Season this. Can you get this? Hey there. Now where is bad guy? I want some bad guy. Ah. Here we go. Here we go. Yes. Whoa! Copy. Oh. Hmm. Who you? Let's see. See what you got. Okay. Interesting. A5. That got a con for an upgrade. What? That's not fair. Takachita! Ah, take this. Yeah. Don't want that. Oh, yeah, I still don't want it. Do, 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 do. Metal smuggler, slaver, accurate shoo. Attack! Take that, take that, take that. Should be nearly finish your ship. Take this, take this, take this. Auto aim. Nice. Whoa. Haptic, haptic. What is? Nope. Nope. 650. Oh, maybe a good one to swap over. Think that enough. Think so. Here we go. Oh, nice. Release smaller clouds of liquid. Okay, I take it. Wait and stand by. It's alright then. Who else coming? Anything excited? Ripple worms. That's alright, I don't mind. Hey, I like this. Approaching ship. It's you again. Extortionist. Why see head the word SEX there? That or try. I heard this very exotic drink. If you can pay me right now with that drink, that is very expensive. Go by your name. No. Your rat empire. You has mini ship. Okay. Take it. Where's your engine? This one. No worries. Which one does EMP? This one does the EMP. Should there think better focus here. Alright. Yeah, take that. Here come rocket launcher. Oh, easy peasy. Can we focus on here? Stop shooting it. Thank you. Ah, poor guy. Wow, that's a lot of metals. Food. Don't think I want that much food. I'm fairly happy with my food containments. Alright, time to leave. Time to leave. Something's still missing. There we go. Yeah. Alright, you. I don't know what your expertise is. I don't really need any more data. Excuse me. Oh, you are left over. Really? Oh wow. Okay. Sure. We do this then. You can be security guys. Same with you. You can get a repair skill up. Same with you. Pair. Well, is you gonna be payment 2. Same with you. Okay, we good to go. Think. Oh no. Okay. Why do we have so much of this stuff? Any more trader? Oh, okay. 4,200. What am I gonna do with this? Station just right over there. Like literally just there. Okay. Upgrade. I think I upgrade everything possible. There's literally nothing more to upgrade. If I upgrade that, I'm gonna lose the. I'm gonna lose the HP slot. Which I don't want to. Why no one repaired the door? Don't understand. Well, I guess I had to dump it then. Which is a pity. How about I try my luck as for last time? Here we go. Oh. Ouch. That is big ouch. Choo, 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 choo. Unpredictable outcome. The creatures are very light in volume. I don't want it. Are you serious? Let me sell you some fuels. Some organic, yeah? Beeper, beeper, beeper. More trader. Intergalactic Xeno data. No. Oh. Not really. Sell you more fuel. Sell you more food. Sell you some more synthetic. Sell you some more metals. Let me put down this so I can buy some bullets. Yeah? Yeah. Here you go. SOS. SOS. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear? There are two ships in that fleet scanning us, jamming our sensor. They turn away after discovery our nuke. Could be pirate. Can't ignore them. Ah. Pity pirate. Not worth it. But hey, I take it anyway. I'm gonna destroy your fire engine first. Go. Second. The rest gonna go here. Where is your pawn defense? 1, 2, 3. Can't shoot one of them at once. Yeah, take that. Stop that. Oh, somebody please. This is over here. Thank you very much. Wow, so much free stuff that can't possibly save it all. That's the effect. What are you doing here? Oh, you repaired. It's alright then. Oh, hello. What you got? Thank you for being a good material skeleton, Mamu. Please note that summoned item Okay. Rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. What is this? Is it? Okay. Not interesting. Oh, hang on. There's a lot of damage. I'm gonna replace that with this. But luck. Don't have room for this. Dang it. Come on, man. Can I just buy it? Serious. Sell food. Sell fuels. I can only carry 1600, I think. So, see, is synthetic cake. 2500. Wow. Is it? Number of fuels. 1700. Whoa! It lasts. Even though I can promise though. Here we go. Now. Take it. Take it and lick your own wounds, silly booger. I like this guy's shape actually, it look really cool. Slicky like submarine. It is submarine. For you. Oh, what? Hey. Yeah. Anyhow, bad luck. Gonna be gone in a second. So. Not gonna be my issue. Where is your... You know what? I'm gonna knock out yours. Gene first. Oh, did I do that? For you, I'm gonna knock out that. The rest of you guys can focus on here. Here we go. Here come the pan. You right, buddy? Oh no! Too late. Jeez, that's so much stuff. Can't keep selling it fast enough. Why did I get this again? Oh yes, because evasion. Fair enough. What do I forget to put on? Oh, look good. Oh, hello. Yes, more trader. No. Even though that could go. Save that. Save that. Whoa, 40. Sure. Synthetic. Yeah, why not? Tomatoes. Come here, I give you all. Buy some bullet from you. Thank you. Still need to sell a whole bunch of motors. I think it should be alright to go. Let's see. Yeah, 31. Put in the tank. Oh, I can't convert metal to fuels. So that like $800 right there. Can't do that. I mean, I only have 18,000, give or take. It's you again. Go away. Go away. Uh oh. This time with backwood. Backwood, backwood. 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 How many are there? Okay. You know what? I trust you. Trust you. No, I think go too fast. Yeah, fire. I'm gonna put out fire. Shoot. So much more. We're stuck here forever, guys. Forever. Oh, no. Why are you injury? Take that. Oh, are you serious? It's you again. But we attack the cheetah. Here come the pain. Marvelous, I say. Need a trader. Enough fighting. Give me a trader. Here we go. Tired. No way. Think I'm scared of you, buddy? Come on now. Wow! Only 14 seconds. Same with mine. No. No. Come on. Can do this. Oh no. I want those fight pawns. Gotta stay here forever. Here we go. Ah, spy jellyfish. Always. Here we go. Easy peasy. Oh, maybe not this time. Where are those important components? Deflected. Serious. Easy peasy. You see the way that you get rich fast and quick in Deep Spy. Taking out part. I don't think you can do quickly tomorrow. Because I know you can do some minutes that. Okay then. Yep. Here we go, last one. Can't ignore me like that. Facing rats. Superiors. Wow. It's never ending. It's never ending. Why you keep injury? I don't. Finally, a trader. Finally. Finally. Still too much metals left behind. And it should keep accumulating what? Don't know. It's gone. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Uh-oh. Here we go. Tradition of the hunt. You know what? That's right. Huh. Bring Peanut to find me. Why do you even underestimate, buddy? Shouldn't do that. Okay, up here we got on defense, command center, and this section. Let's try this one again. It cause fire, yeah. Here we go. Ouch. Oh no. Oh, come on. I'm gonna turn this permanently off. Oh. Aye. Oh. Is that the same? It is same. Hmm. 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 No. 10 second. 21. 3. 7. 13 second. Never deflect. Very interesting. Right, gotta have a shower and go to sleep. tired. Oh. No. No. I wish there's something better to replace the. Maybe number 4, maybe. But at the moment, it's nothing. Same people. What happened? Internet gone kabooms. $11. Do I even? I don't think I've got any. Come on! I need to sell 5,000 tongues my toes. Who can take it? I think I get drifting far away from the station now. The master of coincidence. Interesting, what is that? That Neil? Oh, someone, new member died. What does it mean? Cool idea. I like the idea of being an immortal casually. Cash. No. What's that be? Can you buy? Buy that. Buy that. No. This. Master of coincidence. I have 123 fights. That new? BCM soon. Come on. Adventurer. I want it in the future. Dead to slaver. Okay. What is it? One packet of something. Ah. What rubbish. Hang on. 1-6. Could be useful. But nah, because it. No. I did repair the ship. There, repair the ship. Big time. Pew pew pew. Oh, ouch. Ship is broken. Big time. What? Or not? Battle station. Oh dear. Airplane. Did you repair it? 123, 29. One more fight opponent and we go. Here we go. EMP. I'm going too fast for it. Or bunker or something. Nice. Now we're talking. Scrap that. This is fairly addictive. Ah, is it this on to life? Nothing else you can do. Nothing else better to do. And just stay here and shoot in pumpkin. I'm still powerful though. I am too powerful beyond measure. Can't measure how powerful I am. Stop. I can actually turn the whole ship into cannon fodder. Take out these seal. Whole thing go offensive. Not that high though. But I won't do that. Maybe. One more trader. It will be. Oh, come on. Ate my exotic. Stay. Here we go again. But I take it. Ah, you always cheater. Once cheater, always cheater. Cheater deserve this. See what cheater deserve, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you deserve, little cheater. Wow. Well play. Are they the same? They are the same. Huh. Oh, you're a trader. Finally. It's semi-toast though. So skip that, thank you. You sick individual. Fire. Yeah, take that. Oh, too late. Okay. Oh, 800 token. No, we're not token. Do it yourself. Come on, one. Mid shop. Seems extremely likely that CS Labor Associate selling. That is outrageous. Oh, this could be our fatal mistake. Oops. You know what? I take it. Let's do this. Little goes. Oh wow. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. More down, last one gone. Everything is okay. Everything is okay. Oh, come on. There's someone to buy my food. I mean, tomatoes. Good. Oh no. Hmm. Oh, they come from behind. This is new. Uh-oh. We want to please shoot him. Good. Well done, people. Of the free war. Why don't you buy some? Mentos. $25,000. Why would you buy those? Let's see what. No seal. That. At least left. The one I got. That costs 15 there. Did 3 damage, that twice. Can replace. Alright, that will do, I guess. The motors keep climbing. Oh, tomorrow. Oh, I never experienced one before. Wow, that's the one of the kind. Can I repair? Is it in repair? Oh, again, come on. Thank you. No. Oh, I need to repair that robot. Come on. Can robot repair robot? Hmm. Someone repair. Yeah. Oh, what's going on here? How did you get in here? Get out there, boys. Oh, yes, because down here. Why? Hmm.
Traitor. That's a very good try. Is it my? Yeah. It should be 22. Couple of timber. Two. No. Hmm. Oh no. Waste. What a waste. Oh, that new. Never seen that before. You know what? Screw you, buddy. See what this one should do. Oh, good ship. Not strong enough for me. So. Oh, hello. Commercial points. Now you talking. Now you're talking. They repair my ship for free. Like it. 5? Oh. I must buy that. I must. Sell this. Alright, where we can control the bridge. You too, I guess. What can you do? Oh, better than that again. Who else out here? Yeah, I like this setup. Finally, good payout. I like it. 5 people can control the ring now. Wow, 88 evasion points. Crazy. Oh, this one. I can replay this now. Same. Never ignore seals, but never defeat. Short the time on shoot into accuracy. Yeah. Nah, can't save that. Keep some. Organic fuel. $30,000. More broken. I'm run this ship to the rail, man. Wow, look at the damage. Repaired, boys. Repaired. Oh, come on. Job. bye. Oof. FT. Alright.